Hello there, I'm Yad Senapathy, Chief Training Officer of PMTI, Project Management Training Institute. The website is www.4pmti.com. I have led the fourth chapter team in the development of this edition of the PMBOK guide, the fifth edition. In all, PMTI instructors led and played a key contributor role in at least 3 major chapters and supported other chapters. PMTI is the largest PMP exam prep training provider that is headquartered in the United States of America. In this video, I will endeavor to provide a brief overview of the changes made in the PMBOK Guide 5th edition that was released in December of 2012. In this presentation, we'll talk about the timeline over which the new PMBOK Guide 5th edition is being released and affects the exam. Next, we'll discuss the general thematic changes. We will also talk about some numbers related to the changes. A brand new knowledge area has been added to the new PMBOK Guide 5th edition. We will discuss briefly about this new knowledge area. The number of processes have gone up from 42 in the PMBOK Guide 4th edition to 47 in the PMBOK Guide 5th edition. A few of these process changes are critical from the PMP exam standpoint. We will then take a look at change by each knowledge area. PMTI has been at the forefront of PMP exam preparation since 2002, and we'll look at what we bring to the table that makes your success in the PMP exam a guarantee. A final draft of the PMBOK Guide 5th edition was submitted to PMI in June of last year, 2012. The consensus body voted on the final changes in October of 2012. The final PMBOK Guide, the 5th edition, was released in December of 2012 after about roughly 3 months of publication preparation. The most important question, however, that you are probably worrying about as an exam taker is, when does the exam get affected? The PMP exam will not incorporate the changes from the PMBOK Guide 5th edition until July 31st, 2013. There, hopefully I've set some of your concerns away. So, PMTI suggests that if you're taking the exam before August of 2013, plan on preparing with the PMBOK Guide 4th edition based preparation material. On the other hand, if you're taking it after July 2013, your preparation material must be based on the new PMBOK Guide, the 5th edition of the PMBOK Guide. This also applies to anyone who is retaking the exam after July 2013. In other words, if you took an exam based on the PMBOK Guide 4th edition, PMI will not grandfather you to take a similar exam after July 31st, 2013. In other words, the exam changes for all exam takers after July 31st, 2013, whether you're taking the exam as a new candidate or retaking it after a failure. The new edition of the PMBOK Guide was revised with an intent to modify as little as possible of the generally accepted project management principles. However, consensus of experts shows that there are several areas of improvement. Along the way, the PMBOK Guide went from approximately 500 pages to a little over 600 pages. To be precise, from 497 to 616. These areas have been incorporated into the new PMBOK Guide. Let's take a look at them. Number 1. One of the key areas that needed to be highlighted in the new PMBOK Guide is the role played by stakeholders, people who are positively or negatively affected by the project, or those who are actively engaged in the project. Another area the new PMBOK guide endeavored to do is to be aligned with the newly released ISO 21500 project management standard, although the standard does not get into as much depth as the new PMBOK guide. 3. This edition of the PMBOK guide is consistent in its terminology, naming of the process groups, the knowledge areas, and other concepts with other standards of PMI, such as the standard for program management, standard for portfolio management, the standard for work breakdown structure, WBS, the standard for organizational project management maturity, the OPM3. Number 4. One of the other things that typically bothered PMP exam takers is a level of disconnect between the PMBOK guide and what the PMP exam outline described as the content of the exam. The new PMBOK guide endeavored to fill this void and gap. Number 5. Some of the knowledge areas, especially scope, time, and cost management, did not have specific processes that created a management plan for that knowledge area to guide that knowledge area, while other knowledge areas did. This incongruity has been fixed in the new PMBOK guide as well. The data flow throughout the PMBOK guide. Alright, this is number 6 point. The data flow throughout the PMBOK guide has been made consistent with the common knowledge management paradigm called DIKW, which is a natural flow of knowledge from data to information to knowledge to wisdom. Number 7, project governance has been emphasized as a strategic component of corporate governance. And finally, number 8, the evolving role of PMOs, the evolution of PMOs as key stakeholders and project initiators has been emphasized. As discussed previously, a new knowledge area for stakeholder management has been added, making the number of knowledge areas to 10, or bringing the number of knowledge areas to 10 for the first time in the PMBOK guide history. We'll get into more details of this knowledge area soon, but the number of processes have primarily jumped by 5, which guarantees that the exam will be much more knowledge laden than before, if not just application laden. All right, 3 new processes have been added, 1 each to scope management, schedule management, and cost management to help manage these respective knowledge areas of the project. There are nearly 100 new inputs, tools, and techniques and outputs, which we refer to as ITOs. Watch out for this change. This change alone, the ITOs change alone, has the potential to make an already hard exam harder. The PMBOK guide took a leap by discussing adaptive and agile methodologies in an otherwise generic guidelines-driven standard. This is a popular project execution method in the technology industry. You can expect a surge in questions related to this topic in the exam. There are several new graphics for old topics to elucidate them, including a sample critical path example. Hooray! Woohoo! There are other textual additions also on various topics, justifying the increase of roughly about 115 pages in the PMBOK guide, mostly all good changes. Okay, it's time to delve a little deeper into the new knowledge area, project stakeholder management. The PMBOK Guide 4th edition already had 2 processes for dealing with stakeholders. If you have read or have been familiar with this knowledge area, you will immediately notice that identify stakeholders is one of those processes, and manage stakeholder engagement is managing stakeholder expectation with a newly embellished name. But there are 2 new processes as well, plan stakeholder management and control stakeholder management, to cover the entire span of project management lifecycle with regards to dealing with stakeholders. Delving deeper into these processes or their definitions is out of scope of this presentation, but the definitions themselves presented here invite critical understanding in order to ace the PMP exam. I hope to conduct several presentations to dig deeper into the PMBOK guide changes later over the year. Look out for scheduled events at our website. All right, let's look at the changes first from a process group standpoint, shall we? All right, it's interesting to note that 4 of the 5 new processes, 4 out of the 5 new processes are in planning. Needless to say, the first 3 of these are essentially creating a plan for each of the 3 knowledge areas. So, plan scope management creates a scope management plan. Plan schedule management creates a schedule management plan, and plan cost management creates a cost management plan. These 3 plans were put together under one single process called Develop Project Management Plan in the previous PMBOK guide. A discerning reader must clearly distinguish that these plans are different from the 3 baselines from each of these knowledge areas. The 4th planning process added is Plan Stakeholder Management, and it's clearly part of the new knowledge area, Project Stakeholders Management. The last process added was in the Monitoring and Controlling process group. Again, this new process, Control Stakeholder Management, is from the new knowledge area, Project Stakeholders Management. Let us look at some high-level process changes from a knowledge area perspective. In the integration knowledge area, the process that was previously called Direct and Manage Project Execution is now renamed as Direct and Manage Project Work. In Scope Management knowledge area, a new process, Plan Scope Management, has been added. This process creates a document that tells the project team and the project manager how the project scope will be defined, validated, and controlled. Create WBS is now therefore the 4th process in scope management knowledge area. A new process, Plan Schedule Management, has also been added to the schedule management knowledge area, like in the scope management knowledge area. This process establishes the policies, procedures, and documentation for planning, executing, and controlling the project schedule. A new process, Plan Cost Management, likewise, has been added to the cost management knowledge area, as we have discussed earlier. This process establishes the policies, procedures, and documentation for planning, managing, executing, and controlling project costs. Out of the 3 important processes in quality management, 2 of them have been renamed. The 2 renamed processes are Plan Quality and Control Quality. The content in these 3 processes is largely unchanged. In Human Resource Management knowledge area also, the changes are minor, with one process renamed as Plan Human Resource Management. Communications Management knowledge area went through significant changes, the most important change being the process Manage Stakeholders Expectations has moved to Stakeholder Management knowledge area, renamed and significantly changed. 2 other processes in this knowledge area have been renamed, Plan Communications as Plan Communications Management and Report Performance as Control Communications. The last process, Control Communications, has also been revamped. A significant information about performance report types from the previous edition has been deleted, making the process cleaner and consistent with other control processes. In Risk Management knowledge area, one process, Monitor and Control Project Risks, has been modified as Control Risks, keeping it simpler and easier. In Procurement knowledge area, Plan Procurements has been renamed as Plan Procurement Management. Administrative Procurement has been renamed as Control Procurement. In the newly added knowledge area, Stakeholders Management, 2 new processes, plan stakeholder management, and control stakeholders' engagement have been created to processes that were previously in other knowledge areas. Specifically, identify stakeholders and manage stakeholders' expectations have been moved to this new knowledge area. Further, manage stakeholders' expectations has been renamed as manage stakeholders' engagement. This process has also been significantly rewritten, so watch out for a significant increase in people-oriented project management questions in the PMP exams and e-learning products. PMTI, which has due to the limited scope of this presentation, detailed discussions on the changes to the inputs, tools and techniques, and outputs have been excluded out of this presentation. All these changes and many more new tricks and tips will now be part of the popular PMTI PMP exam prep products, including our widely popular 4-day classroom bootcamp, instructor-led live classroom and online sessions, and e-learning products. PMTI, which has always held the highest reputation in the industry for quality training for PMP certification, has refined its pedagogy and skills in the 10+ years of classroom bootcamp exam prep experience. Over 35 of our instructors have experience leading our students through PMBOK guide changes and a total of 4 major exam changes in the last 10 years. Our staff has the exclusive distinction of having participated in crafting the standards for project management for PMI. Our advisors and faculty, Mr. Max Weideman, was the architect of the first PMBOK guide. Dennis Bowles, another one of our ex-consultants, was the project manager for the 3rd edition of the PMBOK guide. Nick Clemens and I are significant contributors to the PMBOK guide 5th edition, which is the subject of this presentation. I hope this presentation from PMTI has provided you the information needed to make an informed decision about when to take the PMP exam and why you need to select PMTI. We are grateful to the hundreds of thousands plus PMTI supporters who trusted in PMTI in their quest for PMP certification. Our classroom bootcamp courses are offered across the globe and are coveted by serious PMP exam prospects. Are you interested in finding out more? Please contact us at the information given above in this slide. PMTI is a favorite among many Fortune 500 small and medium-sized businesses for their group training needs when it comes to PMP certification. Email us at corprequest@4pmti.com or group request at 4pmti.com, and we will take care of the rest. If you're not sure if you qualify for the exam, all right, here's a freebie. If you're not sure if you qualify for the exam, we'll review your resume at no cost to you. Absolutely no cost to you. Just send your resume to us at resume review, all one word, resume review at 4 as in number 4 pmti.com, and we'll be happy to send you a qualified opinion coming from an experience of reviewing tens of thousands of resumes over the last 10+ years. Again, thank you for watching this video. We'll look forward to seeing you in our classes and helping you achieve the coveted certification. Thank you again.